Warning, the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
How is everybody doing today?
Recovering.
Let's be honest, Zach. How are you doing
I
today?
got really fucking drunk last night. I'm better now. I threw up at 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. Austin, please tell the story you just told me about Zach sitting next to the table of women.
I need to pull it up because I can't do it justice unless I read it word for word.
So, Zach, you graduated from college yesterday. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It's amazing. It's like a pressure has been lifted. So, obviously, I went out and blew some steam off. Probably more steam than I had.
So we're sitting at a bar downtown. It's called Finnegan's Wake. Little Irish pub. Sitting at a table, and it's really crowded, and there's a table of like 6, probably 20-something-year-old girls sitting directly.
Weren't they a bachorette party?
I have no
Were they
idea.
wooing?
I don't know.
They were.
I don't remember.
They were making loud, obnoxious noises.
I don't remember.
And I'm sitting next to my friend Justin, and he posts this on Facebook. He's like, that awkward moment at the bar when a very drunk Zach Chadwick yells, "Sluts!" at the top of his lungs at a table of screaming girls 6 inches from us.
I don't remember that at all.
That's class, man.
I had tequila and Irish car bombs and beer and then I ate burger. Did I eat a burger last night?
You ate a couple, but we went to Whistler's.
Oh man.
Oh,
I ate burgers
I love
and then
Whistler's.
I threw them up this morning.
Did you get kicked out of Whistler's?
No.
No.
I was just obnoxiously telling everyone I needed something with cheese and bacon on it. I remember that.
You remember you got the last bacon they had?
No. That's awesome.
You were pretty excited
that
about
makes
it.
me feel good. Well, anyway, now that the story of my drunken escapades.
Welcome to the See It podcast, where we do a celebration of everything film and television. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Ormsby, drinking, as always, my Johnny Walker Black Label.
I'm Zach Chadwick, and I'm drinking some Sprite.
The hangover cure.
It really is.
And my name is Austin Fairbairn. I didn't go quite as hard as Zach, but I'm just drinking sweet tea. I couldn't
All right.
handle any alcohol today.
Nice. You're
I
making
can't
me...
handle the alcohol.
I'm the
again.
only one drinking in the AM, it seems. So.
It's all right.
Unless you guys went past
You have
midnight,
an
which I'm assuming you did.
You have an image to maintain, my friend.
That's true. A lot of people will expect me to drink.
Well, I think we need to get right to it. Let's hear your see it or skip it of the movie you've been talking about for 4 years now.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
No offense, I was secretly hoping that this was just going to be horrible and you were going to be devastated.
Yeah, I imagine
happen.
some
That
people...
is fucked up.
I wouldn't have been here today. I would have just been driving off in my car into the distance, just screaming, "Why?"
You'd be like at the end of, what's the name of that movie with Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange? Where they're two chicks and they drive off the cliff at the end of the movie? I can't remember.
Are you talking about Thelma and Louise?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Didn't they drive off a cliff at the end of that movie?
Yeah.
You know how I know that? Wayne's World. Boom.
That's where you get all your social media news is from Wayne's World.
I love that movie. It's
Party
still
time,
good.
excellent.
Swing.
Yeah, we did refer to
Yeah,
Wayne's
see?
World in an earlier
Movie's
podcast.
so damn funny.
All right, on to my see it or skip it opinion on Godzilla. The year was 2009.
It's already epic.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
I was sitting on my computer, browsing as I do, when I stumbled upon this news article hinting at the possibility of a joint production of Toho and Legendary making a new Godzilla film. I was hesitant from another Godzilla movie made in the Americas, considering how I felt about the 1998 film, But yeah, as time went on, I learned more and more about the film. Gareth Edwards, who directed Monsters. Did you guys ever see Monsters?
No.
Did not.
It's on Netflix.
It sounds awesome.
Check it out.
Was it about monsters?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Actually,
What?
not really.
No?
Monsters are like a backstory to a character film.
Interesting. Which isn't that the kind of idea behind this Godzilla?
Yeah. So I was a fan of Monsters, so I was getting more optimistic about this film. Then I learned, Ken Watanabe, Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Olsen, and David Strathairn, they're all in it. And that's when I started not getting just optimistic. I was excited about the film. After watching every single Godzilla films as a kid, felt like I was a true fanboy, and I wanted to do justice to this film. So it has a good director and a good cast. And then the trailer started to roll out. And I promise I'm going to get to the actual opinion of this film. I just
No,
feel,
dude, you were so amped up for this movie. You have to lead up to your opinion.
I feel it's important for me to tell you how I feel going into this movie.
You're
know?
like me with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. So as the trailers rolled out, I was in awe of what I was seeing. Just that post-apocalyptic setting, that eerie 2001 Space Odyssey music, the roar, the Mutos, and the big guy himself. Obviously, they were hinting at him everywhere in these trailers.
Fucking fat ass.
Yeah. God damn it. Okay, so just to make everything, this is not only my most hyped movie of the year for me. It could possibly be the most excited I've ever been for a movie, and Zach can attest to this.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, followed the production of this movie for 5 years. I'd invested so much time into finding out everything I could about it. I felt like I was part of it, like it was something I'd been working on to, which I did absolutely nothing to contribute to this film besides the $45 for the movie tickets. So, day finally comes. Thursday. I'm sitting down in the IMAX 3D theater with Zach, and I'm literally shaking. I'm so excited. Zach's like, calm the fuck down, dude.
Yeah, he looked like he was a tweaker, like he was shaking so much.
Yeah. And it started, and it played, and it finished. We all know that feeling that if you truly love something, you can overhype it so much that nothing can touch your expectations.
Yeah, totes. I've done that 1,000 times.
Totes.
Yeah, totes, bro.
I'm happy to say, as much as I hyped this movie up in my mind, it was even better than I could have hoped for. The CGI was incredible. The score by 6-time Oscar-nominated composer Alexandre Desplat from Paris, France. He's nominated for scores from The Queen, Benjamin Button, Fantastic Mr. Fox, King's Speech, Argo, Philomena.
Jesus.
You had him picked to win a composer.
I did, and he did
Oscar.
not, did he?
He did not win.
Damn, man, that guy's done some good stuff.
He's never won an Oscar, just always nominated. But this
Always the
reimagined...
bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, back to Godzilla, this reimagining. And I say reimagining because it's not a remake of the 1954 film. It takes basic elements from it, but doesn't try to recreate it. So this reimagining came with lots of controversy by people who are unfamiliar with the franchise. People complain that Godzilla is only in the movie for like 18 minutes of screen time. Well, if you remember from the original Godzilla, the 1954 one, he's only in that movie for 20 minutes. This 2014 film, like the 54 one, is a movie about the characters and how they react to a world that's turned into hell on earth before their eyes. So, do not watch this movie expecting giant monsters to fight other giant monsters for 2 hours. They already have a movie for you. It's called Pacific Rim.
I was gonna say Transformers, but it's more like Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Now, the Mutos, the creatures that Godzilla fight, those things are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they
that creepy sound they make,
Yeah.
their glowing, creepy eyes. They have like this insectile-like movement. It's just perfect.
they look like giant praying mantises.
Yeah.
How many of them are there?
2.
Too.
There's
I think that's plenty. You don't need more than that.
There's a male that can fly, and then there's a giant female. Like she's
Brute.
bigger than Godzilla, almost.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
They're about the same size, but
Yeah.
and Godzilla himself looked incredible. He had this facial expression, just pure rage this whole time, and it was
Yeah, like he was lifting up his nose to snarl at somebody. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck you looking at?
It was cool seeing Godzilla with like facial expressions because in the old Godzilla Toho films, the animatron could only open and close its mouth, so it couldn't really do one.
Thank you, computers.
By far, and the coolest thing about this movie, and I promise I'm not going to spoil anything, it was Godzilla's atomic breath.
Yeah, man, that shit was awesome.
Yeah, when he did it, everyone in the theater, they just stood up, dude. It was the coolest thing.
That was one of the, I think maybe 3 times I've been to the movies where something happened, and I was like, yeah!
The acting in the film is great, of course, when you have an all-star cast like Ken Watanabe and the people I've listed before. So, down to the moment of truth, this film, for me, is not only a see it, but it has dethroned the Lego movie as my favorite film of 2014 so far.
The Lego movie came out in 2014?
Yeah, dude, it was the beginning of the year.
Oh, man. Where have I been?
So, see it. Zach?
Yeah, I would give this a definite see it as well. And that moment in the movie where they're at I think it's the airport, and that thing roars at Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, oh, really? And he just, man, it was awesome. It gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
It was badass.
You don't see Godzilla till an hour into the movie.
No, I see.
I think it's... Yeah, I guess it would be more like an hour because they were centered on the Muto things.
Yeah. Mutos are the main focus of the film, not Godzilla. But that scene at the airport when you finally see him, oh, that was another time when people just cheered.
Yeah.
Our theater was hyped up, man. People were ecstatic.
This movie, I think, is going to make, in the U.S., like something close to $90 million this opening weekend. It's already made $100 million worldwide. They're probably going to make another one.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully Toho will sell the rights to other like monsters that they have that they can...
Well, did you see in the movie there's a little Easter egg?
Oh, the Mothra?
The Mothra thing.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that they're leaning towards making that the next one.
That'd be really cool. I wouldn't mind like a King Ghidorah or something like that as well.
I want to see him fight Mega Croc.
Mega Croc.
That would be awesome.
And then a Sharknado comes in.
Sharknado.
Yes.
Mother of
please.
God. All right. Is that it for
that's it, man.
See it or skip it?
Tots, see this movie.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to our news segment of the podcast called Speaking of.
Speaking of,
So, the first unfortunate bit of news we have, and I apologize if I mispronounced the name, Malik Bejulul, the director of Searching for Sugar Man documentary, he passed away of suicide this week. You guys said you'd never seen the documentary?
no, I have not.
If you get a chance, you should check it out. I'm going to just read this plot description for you guys. In the early 1970s, Sixto Rodriguez was a Detroit folk singer who had short-lived recording career with only 2 well-received but not selling albums. Unknown to Rodriguez, his musical story continued in South Africa, where he became a pop music icon and inspiration for generations. He became like the Elvis of South Africa.
It's crazy how like little known people here, like their music ends up in like Japan or something like that, and become huge. And
Well, it's like David Hasselhoff. Germans fucking love that guy.
yeah,
It was long rumored that he'd been dead by suicide, and a few fans in the 90s decided to seek out the truth of their hero's fate. What follows is a bizarrely heartening story in which they found far more in the quest than they'd ever hoped. While in Detroit, this construction laborer discovered that his lost artistic dreams had finally came true after all. Yeah, I love this documentary. We know it means very little coming from us, but our thoughts do go out to his family. Again, go check out.
Is it on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix or Hulu Plus. Like I said, it is an Oscar-winning documentary, and it should be gone to see.
Huh.
You know, speaking of Bonnie and Clyde, it's funny you mentioned that. Emilia Clarke and from Game of Thrones and Nicholas Hoult from the X-Men movies are going to team up together for the new Bonnie and Clyde film. It's based off the book Go Down Together. Never read it.
Never read it, but man, I will see anything with her in it. Not just because she's in Game of Thrones, but she is super hot.
this
Hey, man, I'm just speaking the truth. The people want to know my opinions.
The director of this, Michael Suxey, I've never heard of him. He's only directed like 1 or 2 TV episodes here and there, so I guess this is his directorial debut.
That's really weird. It's happening a little more. These people who've never directed before getting big time movies. Like, I would consider this a big time movie. And then, what's his name? Who's never directed a movie before, is directing Star Trek 3.
Oh,
but I guess he's worked with Abrams before, so
yeah,
makes sense. But man, I'd be if I was a studio, I'd be scared to have somebody who's never directed before.
Well, you can even talk about, Gareth Edwards doing Godzilla. He only did that indie monsters movie that nobody saw. And then they're like, we're going to put you in charge of the most well-known monster of all time.
The studio system's so much different now, though, than it was a few years ago.
Absolutely.
Just because before, like, a director had so much control and was really the only kind of creative force, behind the camera driving it forward. Now it's such a collaboration of, like, people that it's not such a big deal to, you're putting all that pressure on one person. It kind of spread out a little bit. But
I guess that's true, but man, if I was the head of a studio, my butthole would pucker if I had a director that had never directed before.
That's true. You also get them for a lot cheaper, though, too.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, the way I look at it is, okay, say you have 2 choices. You have, and I know David Fincher's like the best, but say you can get David Fincher for $15 million, but you can pay this guy over here $1 million and he's never directed before. I would take David Fincher because I know that movie's going to be good and it's going to make a decent amount of money as compared to this guy. We don't know what we're going to get.
I think the way that studios look at this, and this is just totally speculation on my part, if there is a movie that they just want to make money off of and they know people already know the story, they're not going to go for the big time directors because the movie itself is going to bring people to see it, not the director. But if there's a movie you're not sure about, but you know that it's a great story, you just need somebody with the vision that can bring that to life, that's when you get an A-list director to do it.
I guess that makes sense, but I don't know.
It wasn't that long ago they had the Bonnie and Clyde like miniseries that was on like, was it History Channel or something like that? Or
Yeah, Emil
A&E
Hirsch
or-
was in that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that guy.
So I mean, clearly there's like an interest in this story for some people. So like obviously go
It's
see this
still
movie.
interesting. I saw a Bonnie and Clyde movie with Warren Beatty. It's an older movie.
Old movie.
Yeah, but man, they constantly are going back to the story. I don't know. I guess it's fascinating for people, but
Like, it's kind of those like Americana like history things. So yeah, I'm not. It doesn't interest me at all. Like, I mean, I like both these actors, but I will probably not go see this movie unless someone comes to me and is like, okay, it's like the greatest thing ever. You go watch it, but I'm not going to seek it out. I don't think because
I've had. I don't know. I'll see it for her. That's my reasoning. I like Nicholas Hoult too, though. That guy's pretty good.
Speaking of How I Met Your Mother, it's funny you mentioned that. CBS has passed on How I Met Your Dad.
Yes.
Yay!
Woo! Thank you.
This is a quote from Nina Tassler, the president of CBS. There were elements on the pilot that didn't work. We tried to work out about redoing the pilot. That's not happening right now. Sometimes you run into these kind of issues and you hope that they can resolve themselves in time. All I have to say to Nina is good call.
okay, so there's elements of the pilot that didn't work, like it was a
Everything?
fucking stupid
Like
idea
this.
to begin with.
Exactly.
I think they learned from NBC's failed Friends spinoff and how bad that was. I'm glad they didn't do it because this show's so funny for so many years. MPH is the man, but yeah, if they would have made How I Met Your Dad, it would have just been a giant stinking pile of shit.
I mean, this Nina lady's just trying to take all the fame for this, but I mean, really, let's be honest. Clearly, they listened to our podcast and we told them how
we
shitty it
did
was
it.
going to be.
Hey, I am super influential.
Go us.
We canceled the show, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are awesome.
All right, now let's use our powers to bring back Firefly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah, I would die if that show came back.
Yeah. So, speaking of Batman, funny you mentioned that. Zack Snyder, this past week, he first revealed the ass crack of the Batmobile in a picture. And then the next day, he gave us a better picture of not only the Batmobile, but we get to see Batman in his suit. Ben Affleck. Batfleck.
It looks to me like it's the Arkham Dark Knight. Like the guy from the video games, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It reminds me sort of a mixture between the Adam West Batman and, the Tim Burton version of Batman. Just mix those two together, and then you get this one.
I don't know, dude. It looks totally tubular, but I don't know. I need to see a preview.
I liked the suit. I thought it looked pretty good. The Batmobile was really unimpressive to me, though.
Really?
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, it's okay, but I don't know if you're gonna do something this close to when the last one came out. Like, you could have done something just like crazy with it. Like, you could have made it like I think you could have done something cool with it.
I think they did.
I think
it's going back to like I said, the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton sort of Batman Corvette-ish.
I think that they're doing this to start the hype machine because the movie comes out next summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're putting a dick ton of money into this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the cast in this?
Not
in this
screwing
movie?
around.
They're not screwing around. Yeah, so they better hope that it succeeds, and I think that's why they're just starting the hype machine for it.
All right. Questions for you guys. First, what is your favorite style of the Batmobile?
The one in the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, I don't like the Corvette Batmobile.
I'd have
I
to say the
don't.
same one.
I'm a fan of the Corvette-ish one.
I mean, it's fine. I just don't. To me, the one in the Dark Knight trilogy is way more believable or usable. The other one just looks like it'd be for looks.
So, here's one of the big ones. Who's your favorite Batman?
Oh man, I want to say Val Kilmer so bad,
Just to say it.
just to say it because that guy's awesome. Nah, I mean it's so de facto, but it'd have to be Christian Bale just because.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not very original. Yeah,
yeah, everybody's gonna say Bale, but I mean,
Unfortunately, you're both wrong. Because the correct answer is Michael Keaton is the best Batman, but Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne.
I'd go with that. That's fine.
I can see it. Yeah,
But as far as movies I'm gonna watch over and over, I would pick Bale's Batman over Keaton's Batman.
I'm
for that
Batman.
reason.
Yeah. How do you think Affleck's going to do the voice?
I'm Batman.
Do you think he's going to...
I really hope that he does a knockoff of Christian Bale's voice. That would be the best thing I've ever seen.
I think that would be horribly funny. Like, it would be funny and bad all at the same time.
I want Christopher Walken to be the Hi, Batman.
So, speaking of Christopher Walken... God, this is a legitimate segue.
Are you serious? We got a Christopher Walken Batman segue that
Yeah.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Please do tell.
I watched Stand Up Guys the other day.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the movie with Al Pacino?
Al Pacino.
How was it?
Not what I expected at all.
Bad?
It wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it was great either. I know I expected it to be like really gritty, like kind of like these are like some old school gangster people like doing their shit. It was like an old person comedy, really.
I was going to say, it looked like an old person comedy to me, like where they used to be
No.
old gangsters, now they just go around getting drunk is what it looked like to
It
me.
didn't look like that to me. It was when I saw the preview. I said, "Oh, well, that's like one of those sad movies."
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Of like a what we used to be sort of thing.
Yeah, what we used to be, and now I've got to kill my friend. And
Yeah, essentially. I mean, 'cause that's not ruining anything.
No, it's
Christopher
in the plot.
Walken's supposed to. Yeah, his like goal. Well, not his goal. He's basically forced to kill Al Pacino once he gets out of prison. It's a big long story, but they're like best friends. But he's basically being forced to do it. But there's some really funny parts. They go to a whorehouse multiple times.
nice.
Good call.
The first time they go, because they're like 70 years old. Al Pacino can't get it up. So they have to go they break into a pharmacy so he can get Viagra, and then they go back a second time. So there's some funny parts, and it's okay. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but
All right, right on. I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually, but
Yeah.
it's on Netflix. It's just easy to click
and
on and watch.
now
We are done with the news segment of our podcast, speaking of. Now it's time to move on to trailer talk, where we discuss new film and TV show trailers that are out. First up, the CW has finally released a trailer for the new TV show The Flash, based on the comic. What do you guys think? It was a 5.5
I was gonna
minute
say,
trailer.
We wasted a year watching it, but
it looks awesome. I don't care for CW TV. I watched a little bit of Arrow. My wife loves that show because she thinks the dude is like smoking hot. But I didn't watch Smallville. I'm not a Superman fan. But this show makes me interested. I like the look of the Flash. I like you get to see the story. I don't know anything about him, so it's all new to me. And the cast looks legit.
yeah. I'm interested. Like the last few years, the CW's like really kind of like changed the type of shows they're doing as far as
Yeah.
the demographic they're going after.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for the longest time, like their demographic had to been like 16-year-old girls,
Right.
That's all it was like Vampire Diaries and
But it's so different now.
yeah, it's different. I mean, heck, they have 2 currently running or getting ready to run superhero TV shows.
And it's fucking hell. I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Apparently,
No, I mean I thought the trailer looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
The beginning when he's talking about his mom or whatever, that
yeah.
was a little
Weird.
like weird, and I don't
Coulda
know why
cut
they could have cut it because like obviously it's like
Well,
spoiler.
Leave some shit for the show.
Well, it has
Yeah.
to. I think that's just a story thing, like to show how it affected him, and then when he becomes that, how he has to battle with it. Because clearly, it's
Again,
gonna,
that's stuff you just leave in.
Yeah, but
the
you could
show.
put it in the trailer. That didn't bother me. I mean,
It's
they
a-
didn't give a whole lot away.
It's a 30-minute show, and it was a 5.5 minute trailer.
Yeah,
So we just saw the first half.
Of the first season.
is it a 30-minute time slot?
I'm
I think it's
assuming
gonna
it
be
is
an
because I
hour.
think all CW
Isn't Arrow
shows.
an hour?
Is it?
I think Arrow's an hour.
Well, I mean they show Supernatural all the time on there, and that's an hour.
Oh, really?
Well,
then I must be just talking out of my ass.
that was another thing I loved is the crossover with Arrow. I thought that was badass.
Yeah, well, he's on the top of the roof
Yeah,
there. And
yeah,
the guy from Arrow.
totally.
Yeah. Well,
Tots,
I
I
remember
mean.
seeing they were. I don't know if it's the same guy, but in the show The Arrow, that Barry Allen is in the show. He's just not the Flash yet.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never watched the show.
I mean, that takes a lot of like forethought on their like they had to know this is coming and kind of play it in there. And,
See, I think CW is more likely to succeed with the DC stuff than any movie studio is of making a Justice League movie. I think if they try to make that Justice League movie, it's going to fail horribly.
No, I don't think so.
it depends who got. A
I
hold
do,
Of it.
I do, because think about it. The only 2 superheroes in DC that are widely known is Batman and Superman. Wonder Woman would probably be third, and then after that, you get into some shit that a lot of people don't know. So if you try and put out a movie with a bunch of superheroes that people both don't care about and don't know, it spells disaster. I have zero faith in that movie. Now, I hope I'm proven wrong, and I hope I get to see a trailer. And I'll be like, man, that movie looks totally tits, but I doubt it.
Who has like the rights to like that DC stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I don't. DC,
It's spread out.
yeah.
Is it spread out? I didn't know because I know like Marvel stuff is so like
Well, Marvel,
singular and
yeah.
focused.
Well,
things.
they're trying to get back. They just have like what, X-Men and Spider-Man are the
X-Men,
only thing that they
Spider-Man
don't have.
are the only two. They got Daredevil back.
Yay!
Because Daredevil is being made a series or a movie on Netflix.
Really?
And it's going to be awesome because it's going to be gritty, hardcore, like shit. It's not going to be
Yeah,
that
'cause that
terrible.
Ben Affleck shit was
terrible
horrible.
Batfleck
I was listening
movie.
to IGN's UK podcast where they talk about films and gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said the number one catchphrase for TV shows now is gritty. That's what draws people in. If you say something's gritty,
crime drama.
yeah.
They want something that's believable. They don't want. That's why the Arrow and the Flash looks like it's, it could happen feasibly. Now, granted, nobody's going to be able to run the speed of sound, although that would be awesome. But they want something that they can relate to, and that makes it more believable to me, anyway.
So, next trailer up, The Babadook.
This is creepy as shit.
I don't
It's-
want to see this movie because, when I saw this trailer, the first thing I thought was, who the fuck reads a book like that to a kid? If I was that kid, I would need therapy.
Mom, the fuck?
Exactly.
I don't even know how to really explain this to listeners, like what exactly it is. Just go watch the trailer. It's pretty freaking creepy.
I'll do my best to describe it. So the mom and kid are sitting in bed. She's like, here, let me read you a bedtime story. I found this one under the bed. Oh, let's read it. We've never seen this book, but it just appeared under your bed. This makes total sense. Here we go. Let's read it. Oh, it's frightening just from the cover picture. Let's turn the page.
It's like a pop-up book of
It's-
like killers. It's
Yeah.
fucking creepy as shit.
She's
looking.
like, there's a knock on the door. It's a murderer. Ooh, what's on the next page? The kid's like 8 fucking years old. Woman, have a imaginative thought that maybe the kid should not be listening to this. Like, let's go get Horton Hears a Who and read that
Yeah.
instead.
But yeah, it ends up having like some kind of freaking like psychotic break or something like that. And
You don't know if she's going insane or if there's really a monster trying to kill.
Either way, it's creepy. And I know Zach, you said you didn't want to see it. I don't like scary movies at all. I think they're usually stupid as shit. I would go see this one. It looks interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I don't. I would rather see the movie that we watched a preview for last week where they go in the catacombs of Paris or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
As
like
Above, So Below.
The gates of hell. That interests me. This movie just makes me shake my head at the dumbass that's reading that book to a kid. If that was me, I would have to be in therapy with a psychologist right now because I would just be a heroin addict.
I don't know. I just prefer those like psychological like horror movies versus like just straight horror. Like I think it adds something for me anyway.
Man, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and I'll like watch it sometime, and I'll say, okay, that movie is cool because me as well. I hate horror movies because I just don't think they're very good. But man, I can't. In my mind, I can't get past that book.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one. So now that Godzilla's done, I had to find a new movie for me to get uber hyped over. So I kind of felt like as soon as the movie ended, I'm like, wow, 5 years, it's
Now
all
what do I
over.
do?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when Lord of the Rings was over.
And while my prayers were quickly answered because as soon as the trailers for Godzilla started playing, they premiered the new Interstellar trailer by Christopher Nolan.
Before we get into this, we need to make sure everyone knows Christopher Nolan is like the Picasso of movies. He doesn't make a bad fucking movie ever.
He tried, and we got Inception.
Exactly. I mean, think of every movie I've seen that he's done: Memento, The Prestige, Inception, all the Batman movies. It's like this guy just sleeps and out pops a great movie out of his ass. I don't know.
Question for you guys.
Is it an Inception question?
No.
No.
Prestige or Illusionist?
Prestige, obviously.
I love The Illusionist with Edward Norton because he's my boy. Go Team Edward Norton. But I almost said Team Edward, and that would have sounded really bad. But man, The Prestige is so goddamn good. I can't pick it over. I can't pick The Illusionist over The Prestige.
I just want. They
Plus
came out
it's got
so
Scarlett
close
Johansson
together,
in it.
and it was just.
Fun fact for you guys, I know you both love Inception as I do. This is a spoiler. So, if you haven't seen
For Inception?
Too bad you should
like
have
4
seen
years
it.
ago.
I know.
5 years ago.
But there's
whatever.
some person out there who's like, I was going to watch it tonight. So
I
turn
think-
off the podcast then, because here we go. So in the movies, the totems let you know if you're real or not, and he's using the top.
Right.
That's not his totem.
That's his wife's.
You know what his totem is? His wedding ring. Because in the movie, he keeps saying, in my dreams, we're still married. So whenever he's dreaming, he has his wedding ring on. But whenever he's awake, he doesn't have it on. So if you look at the end of the movie, when he spins the top, you'll see he spins the top, but he's not wearing his wedding ring. He was awake.
Well, I always thought he was awake anyway.
Yeah.
Because wasn't that the only time? Didn't you see the
That
kid,
you see his
that
kid's
you see
face.
his kids?
Yeah.
So I always thought he was awake.
Yeah.
But I guess I can understand people who want to theorize into it and say, "Oh no, he wasn't. Yes, he was."
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, clearly it was intentionally left with the way the top was to make you
To make you think
question
it was
Yeah.
the top, but it was
Yeah.
never the top. It was misleading. Fun fact. Okay, so Interstellar. This movie looks phenomenal.
It does look really fucking good.
We continue to be in the middle of a reconnaissance.
Yeah. You know what? I'm very happy that he's making such good movies, because whenever Dallas Buyers Club came out, I'm like, this is the side of McConaughey. Wait, did Mud come out before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mud
it
was
did.
out before.
Okay. Whenever Mud came out, like, okay, this is actually a good McConaughey movie. Good for him. And then we get Dallas Buyers Club, and I'm like, this guy has talent. He needs to make more movies like this.
I need to see that movie he's in. Is it called Killer Joe or the movie with
Oh,
Emil Hirsch?
I didn't see that one.
It's
It looked
unreal.
weird.
Yeah, apparently he's amazing in that. And I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't bad in Magic Mike.
God damn it, dude.
I'm saying okay. He was probably forced to watch it with his wife.
Yeah.
I was forced to watch it with mine. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. McConaughey wasn't bad. I think that was the start of the reconnaissance.
All right. But I'm going to try and steer this back to Interstellar. So,
Now that we're done talking about naked dudes,
yeah.
let's talk about space.
I'm just going to read this cast list for this movie. You have McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Topher Grace, Wes Bentley, Casey Affleck, Michael Caine. I mean,
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow, yeah.
Yeah.
The list goes on with just
Anne
amazing
Hathaway's
people.
in this movie?
Yeah. Yeah. But, it's the story of Earth runs out of food, so they need to go to the stars to look for a new place to live. And I'm getting the feeling from the trailer that McConaughey knows he's never going to see his kids again. But
Yeah.
it's for the betterment of mankind, so he has to go.
Right.
It's just...
But there's the only thing about the trailer I don't understand. I do want to see it. It's going to be amazing. But they're burning the fields. It looks like corn stalks. Can they not eat that or what?
I'm assuming it's like whenever they grow the crops, they're bad. So they have to burn them to clear the fields to try growing again.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm assuming that's what's going
Yeah,
on.
something like that. I'm curious to see how they balance how much time is going to be spent on Earth and how much is going to be spent in space.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the space stuff's going to be the last half hour to 40 minutes of the movie.
See, I'm the opposite way. I think they're going to show maybe it's going to be split right down the middle, I think.
Really?
I
don't
figured the Earth stuff would be about 30 minutes or so, and the rest will be space.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think it's going to be more story-driven on Earth before they ever go into space.
Yeah.
That's
But,
just me, though.
The trailer looks amazing. They have that V for Vendetta song playing in the background that just gives you chills.
Yeah. I mean, I totes want to see it.
Yeah. So moving on to the next trailer. Oh, we talked about it last week. We forgot to, I mentioned it at the end of the podcast. The Double with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Movie looks really cool.
I want to see it because I think Jesse Eisenberg's the shit. I like his movies.
No, it's really an interesting. I don't even know. Like, it's. I don't want to say interesting concept, but it's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like super original, but the way it's done looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. It's Jesse Eisenberg. He's like a clerk or something somewhere. He plays that awkward, goofy Jesse Eisenberg like you saw in Zombieland, just like that introspective kind of or introvertive kind of guy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, we got a new employee," so he goes to meet him, and it's him, except it's a different version of him, where he's like charismatic and outgoing and demanding.
It reminded me of like a funny version of Fight Club. Like that guy's him in the trailer, or at least I think it's him. Obviously, it's just him seeing himself.
I don't know. I want to see it really bad.
The way they set it up, though, it seems like a really, like, kind of like weird concept that, like, it's not necessarily set in this world. Like, could be alternative universe type thing. Like, it's not necessarily like the world as we know it.
The way I saw the trailer as, it is somebody else, but he's having a mental breakdown, so he's projecting himself on who he wants to be.
Onto the person, yeah.
And it's just this other person, but he makes it in his mind to where it looks like him.
I guess that could be true. I like my idea better.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Did you guys ever see that Michael Cera movie where he had the personality?
With the mustache. Yeah. That was a pretty funny movie.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, because like he's like kind of the quiet kid, and that he's like the suave guy, you know.
Yeah, I've not seen that movie. I like Michael Cera enough, but
I can't remember what it's called.
I have it at home.
It's pretty funny.
Seen it.
And then our next movie we're going to talk about, apparently it's been out already, but we just recently saw the trailer for The Immigrant. It's Marion Cotillard, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jeremy Renner. Directed by James Gray, written by James Gray. Looks really cool.
30 seconds into this trailer, I'm like, I want to see this movie. I don't know why. It just looks awesome, and I want to go home right now and watch it.
Yeah. Like, obviously, like, the story's way different, but just the way it looks amazing. Just like the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of Gangs of New York as far as like the way it looks.
Like that.
It's cleaner, but just that like setting.
Like that industrial New York sort of setting.
I mean, and it's it's obviously set a little bit later, but it's still 19 probably 30s,
something 20s. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But just it's a love conflict movie is pretty much what it looks like.
Yeah. Joaquin
Phoenix is madly in love with Marion Cotillard, but then this mysterious stranger, Jeremy Renner, comes along. Yeah, it's not the most original idea, but it looks like it's very well done.
I like Jeremy Renner. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I think he's really underrated.
Joaquin Phoenix is obviously an amazing actor.
Yeah. He's in one of my favorite movies.
Her.
I fucking love that movie.
But yeah, it's definitely one to go and see.
I think maybe the reason we haven't seen it and that it's out is it was a Cannes Film Festival movie. You don't see a lot of those film festival movies until like a year after they've actually technically came out, so that's probably why I haven't seen it yet.
Well, what else?
And then we're going to move on to Timothy Spall's new movie, Mr. Turner, which is the life story of British artist J.M.W. Turner,
who I've never even heard of.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen his paintings before.
Really?
They're really good, but
they're
better than good. Obviously, they're masterpieces. I really want to see it. Like I said, whenever we saw it, I'm like, yep, this is one of those Oscar films.
Yeah, I listen. I watched it, but I'm still undecided. I don't know if I want to see it or not. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know.
I like Timothy Spall a lot.
Oh, I like him too. He was awesome as Wormtail and Harry Potter. But I just don't know about this movie. I don't know if it speaks to me.
I remember him from Last Samurai. He was really good, and then he was
in that movie.
And he was also in The King's Speech. Which
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen The King's Speech?
No, it probably is. That's another one of those movies where I watched the preview. I'm like, I mean, it's on Netflix. It's in my queue. I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's a historical drama about a British guy, so they're kind of similar in that respect.
Yeah.
So.
And he plays Winston Churchill.
Oh, which is awesome.
Yeah. He does really good. He's only in the movie a very short amount of time, but that's Winston Churchill right there.
Yeah,
from like every historical footage you see of him, he captured it perfectly. Last trailer we have was the Constantine trailer for the new TV show not based off the movie, obviously it's based off the comic book. I was hesitant of it, but after seeing the trailer, it looks like it could be something worthwhile to watch. Zach, you look like you're about to die.
It looks cool. No, I'm fine. It looks cool, but I want to see it. It does have a chance because I mean, it does look like it could pull in people who say, "Oh, that looks neat. I want to see it." But the black guy, who I'm assuming plays the devil, the guy who was in Sons of Anarchy as Pope, and he's been in some other stuff. Yeah. I like that guy. He when he plays a bad dude, I guess what you would call him. He is super powerful in that kind of role.
So, Zach, question for you.
What?
how much money would it take for you to reach over and take a big gulp out of that black label he's got sitting over there?
You couldn't pay me enough. I'm not drinking that shit. I mean, it's probably good, but I ain't drinking. I'm getting the shivers just thinking about drinking right now. All right, so that is it for trailers. Oh, wait, hold on. You got something?
Well, I just looked up Harold Perrineau. He's the black guy.
The guy, yeah, he's good.
He's listed as Manny. I don't know
who that is in the Constantine universe.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I saw the movie with Keanu Reeves, which is actually good.
I watched it a couple months ago because we heard the news. I'm like, I'd like to go back and watch it. I still like it.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie.
I was talking to Zach actually last night about this. We've been, shitting on Michael Bay movies for, weeks straight now.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, I remembered one because I watched all the way through the other day that I actually do like.
Oh, is it Bad Boys?
It is not Bad Boys. It's one we didn't talk about when we were talking about Michael Bay movies.
What is it?
Armageddon.
Oh, that is one of the worst movies of all time.
No.
Yes,
dude,
it is.
It's not
one of the worst
movie.
movies.
I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst.
It's not a great movie, but it's so fun.
No, it's not.
No,
I hate
is.
that movie so
It's a great
fucking
movie.
much. I thought you were going to blow my mind with something exciting like, ooh, there may be a Michael Bay movie out there I didn't know about.
No, it's one you know about, but it's great.
Oh, God, I fucking hate that movie.
It's fun.
It's so bad.
I like it.
So bad.
This fucking guy.
Okay, so are we done with trailer talk?
We are done with trailer talk, and now it's time for Balls Deep with Gary Oldman.
Yes. So, Zach, give us the description of what Balls Deep is.
This is a
working title.
Yeah, working title.
No, it's fucking sticking.
Anyway, this segment is where we take an actor, a famous actor. Last week we did Nicolas Cage, and we go through and their entire career and talk about the movies we've seen, both the bad and the good ones. And over at the end, we talk about how, on a scale, good, 1 to 100, 60, 40, 50, 50, whatever. How many movies they've made that are good and how many movies they made that are bad of what we've seen, not shit we haven't seen.
Yeah. So, very, very well-known actor.
He's awesome. He's one of my favorite actors.
London, nominated for an Oscar. We're going to get to that film later, but we're going to start at the very beginning of his career.
He did a lot of TV stuff. He did a couple of TV movies that I've not seen.
Yeah.
Show called Meantime, Morgan's Boys, stuff like that. I haven't seen any of that. A lot of his early stuff I haven't seen.
His first, the film that made him famous was Sid and Nancy.
Sid and Nancy. That's the first one on the list I've seen.
Yeah. He plays Sid Vicious. He was a bass guitarist for the Sex Pistols. Very overrated band, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totes agree.
But Oldman's performance as Sid Vicious is spot on, and that's what made him a star.
Yeah.
And then the next one, what was it? Pick Up Your Ears? Is that the next one that he did?
Prick Up Your Ears.
Prick Up Your... Yeah, that's what it was. That was the very next movie, and he goes from playing, this crazy rock god to playing a flamboyant, brutally honest playwright. And it showed just how versatile of an actor he could be in his roles. He was not one to be typecast.
It's truly impressive how he's able to do that with seemingly no effort.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the next one that I've seen.
Sorry, that was a great contribution by me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That was, hey,
You guys
that's
talked for like, yeah, I agree.
He
That's cool.
He did some other stuff. Criminal Law, I haven't seen. He did a movie called Chattahoochee with Dennis Hopper.
Is Alan Jackson in
'89. No.
Did they go way down yonder?
He was in a movie, or in an episode of Knots Landing back in the day.
No shit. Oh,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, one episode. So
I think the next big one that I can see is JFK.
Oh yeah,
It came out in
91. Yeah.
I did see Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Have you guys ever
How's
read that?
No.
It's actually a really cool story. It's Tom Stoppard. He's a really famous American playwright, and he actually wrote I think directed the movie too.
Okay.
Is that the one with Tim Roth?
I think so. Yeah.
It was like his comedy, like the old medieval.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking hilarious.
No, it's great,
Really?
and the play's great too. Basically, what it is they're minor characters. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are minor characters from Hamlet, Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Yeah.
So he writes basically Hamlet, but from the point of view of these two minor characters.
Yeah.
But it's a comedy.
It's like
awesome.
They're like invent stuff, like they invent the hamburger and they invent paper airplanes and stuff. Just like, oh yeah,
I need to go back and watch
It's
this.
pretty
Then.
good.
you need to go and see it. It's really funny. I forgot all about that movie. So JFK, Oldman's performance as Lee Harvey Oswald is is not one to be missed, obviously.
No, yeah, it was
I haven't
crazy.
seen this movie.
He was who directed JFK?
Let's see here.
I should know this.
It's
It was
director
Oliver Stone.
Yeah, Oliver
yeah,
Stone.
I knew I should know that.
Hey guys, it's Oliver Stone.
Oh, thanks,
Thanks.
bud. I appreciate that. He allowed him to perform the character however he wanted. He's like, we trust you to do this. So he locked himself away in a room and watched every single film footage of Lee Harvey Oswald he could get a hold of just to find everything out. And he's not in the movie that long, obviously, because the movie's centered around JFK, but
Yeah.
it's good.
So obviously, he's a great actor, and he probably takes it very seriously. So when he tells him that, and he goes and locks himself away, and I'm gonna prepare for all this. If a director told me that, I would do all that to prepare, as well as I could. But the first day of shooting, I'd walk out and just do something fucking off the wall, like make it seem like I'm just gonna take this in the most stupid direction I could possibly think of, and make him immediately regret saying all that before I then showed him how awesome I was.
That would be hilarious. But he's probably like super professional.
Oh, I'm
and
sure,
stuff.
yeah.
Not screwing around.
Okay.
Now we're going to move on to your favorite.
My
Gary Oldman.
favorite Gary Oldman movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. It's Dracula, by the way. Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's got him and Anthony Hopkins, who plays Helsing, and Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves and Carrie Ewells and a bunch of other people in it. Gary Oldman is so awesome in this movie. Really, to me, he's the only performance that's really that awesome. I mean, Anthony Hopkins is fine.
Yeah.
But man, Gary Oldman is badass in this movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it just for him.
It has been so long since I've seen that movie.
I love this movie. I really do. He's creepy, but he's believable, and he commands the screen every time he's on.
Not the best.
Whatever. Suck a dick.
For this next movie, I'm just going to set up everything just so you get an idea of just how amazing this movie is. So, it's going to be directed by Tony Scott, written by Quentin Tarantino, and listen to this cast. If there's ever been an all-star cast, this was the movie. Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Sam Jackson, Michael Rapaport, James Gandolfini.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 8.0 on IMDb. The movie is true romance. Ullman's only in the movie for 10 minutes, but it's some of the best 10 minutes you'll ever see. He has these giant dreadlocks, this leopard print jacket, and this thug accent.
Got gold teeth.
Yeah, gold teeth and scars in the one eye. You guys, you've never seen the movie. He just has one of my favorite lines is, "You must have forgot it was White Boy Day."
I haven't seen this movie, but I did see that part.
The White Boy Day.
The White Boy part, yeah. You can look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It looks like a really cool movie. I really want to see it.
Yeah. But what did he do after
You
True
get to
Romance?
probably one of the most famous movies he's in, Leon the Professional.
That, for me, is my favorite Gary Oldman movie.
I would probably have to agree.
I love this movie. I'm not saying it's bad by saying I like Dracula more. This movie's great.
Everybody has their favorite.
So I actually have a little bit of trivia on this movie.
Ooh, okay.
Movie trivia time, guys. All right. So, let's see here. First off, during the filming involving all the police cars on the street.
The real criminal?
The real criminal,
Okay,
yeah.
tell
How
Zach the
crazy
story.
is that? Okay. So this guy robs...
You've seen it. You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Well, in real life, around the corner, a guy robbed one of the stores and ran out and saw all the police cars for the movie shoot and thought they were real and gave up and surrendered himself to the uniform extras that were on set.
Yeah.
He thought they were real cops.
That's funny.
I love that story.
I bet he felt stupid afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, they just set him in one of the cop cars until the real cops showed up.
Yeah, that I thought was awesome. All
Okay,
right.
but back to Gary Oldman's performance. The drug-addicted police detective, he's hell-bent on killing Jean Reno, which I
Right.
don't know why everybody loves Jean Reno.
He's all right.
Yeah, just his creepy, he loves classical music, and he just does psychotic shit
Random
all
shit,
movie.
yeah. All right, I got one more, and this is very related to Gary Oldman. So during the scene where Gary Oldman is interrogating Matilda's father,
Oh yeah,
and he
yeah.
gets really
the Mozart,
right up
the
close to
Mozart
him.
screen. Yeah,
Yeah, Oldman smells him,
yeah.
it wasn't written in the script. He didn't tell me he was going to do it, and he just did it. So the look on his face of disgust and what the hell is this guy doing? It's completely genuine and real because he had no idea Oldman was going to get that close and smell him.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh God, I love.
I like hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, so
I love no, that's brilliant. So after Leon the Professional, let's see what we have next.
he did some stuff. He did
Immortal Beloved.
Scarlet Letter.
Oh yeah, he was a Reverend in that movie.
I haven't seen it.
I had to watch
I'm not
it
a
in school.
huge Demi Moore fan. We watched it in school, but in high school I was the kid who always slept in class, so I slept while this movie was on. I didn't watch it. I don't know. I'm not a huge Demi Moore fan.
Okay, so Fifth Element.
Yeah, that's the next one you get that I've seen.
That awesome Southern accent and that weird ass bald cap that he has.
That movie's awesome.
Jean
It's so
Baptiste
underrated.
Zorg.
It's really good. He was pretty creepy in that damn movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It's played, I want to say, about once a month or so on TBS.
Yeah, it's on syndication all the time.
Yeah, because when it came out, it made a dick ton of money. Did you know Ian Holm, Bilbo Baggins is in that movie? Yeah. That's your Lord of the Rings fact of the day.
Okay. Then after the Fifth Element, we Get Off My Plane.
I liked this movie.
Air Force One.
Yeah, I did, but I want to. No, this isn't Clear and Present Danger. I was thinking of that for some reason, but
Well, you've never seen Air Force One?
no, I have.
Okay.
I was thinking of that for some fucking reason.
Oh, okay.
Air Force One's pretty good. I mean, it was a fun movie to watch. It was your
Yeah.
typical terrorists on a president's plane. They're gonna hijack it, and he, saves the day by killing the
I
terrorists.
don't really know if that's really been done besides Air Force One.
No, I mean your typical action movie.
Okay.
Like the good guy.
You were
kills-
just very specific about your typical. It's your typical Harrison
Typical
Ford
action
fighting
movie.
Gary Oldman in an Air Force One plane where Harrison Ford is the
No,
president kind
dude,
of.
No, it's your
I mean, how
typical
many times
action
has that been done
where
before?
the good
Come on,
guy
we get
kills
the
the
idea.
bad guy at
I
the
mean,
end.
Air Force 2.
Oh fuck yeah, Air Force Two.
God,
And-
I should not give studios any ideas. For the love of God, do not make Air Force 2.
Yeah.
For
Hey, if we can cancel shows, maybe we can get ones made.
did you see everybody's seen Gladiator, and at the end Russell Crowe dies along with Joaquin Phoenix.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, god
Yeah,
damn.
well, if you haven't seen that shit, it's your own fucking fault. Did you know for like 5 or 6 years after that movie was made, they had a script, and they were starting to cast for the sequel?
Jesus Christ.
That would have been a huge mistake. I'm glad
Oh,
they did
yeah,
not
I
go
mean-
through with that.
I don't think Scott would have done that.
I don't know if Ridley Scott was attached to it.
I say, yeah, they could have gotten someone completely different. I mean,
That's
they own the
true.
rights to it. They can fuck it over however
Right.
they want, I suppose.
That's a great movie.
But back to Gary Oldman. With every actor, you're allowed one bad movie, and his one bad movie is Lost in Space,
I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't seen
where
it
he was
either.
Dr. Smith.
It doesn't appeal to me.
It's bad. I thought it was going to be cool because, the old show from back in the day. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. But,
He was in a TV movie called Jesus.
yeah.
He was,
He was
Pontius
Pontius
Pilate.
Pilate, yeah.
Who else is in that show? Jeremy Sisto and Deborah Messing. Yeah, not the best.
Have you guys seen The Contender?
Nope.
No.
Okay, it's a really good movie. He's this Republican congressman, and it's him trying to taint the name of this Democratic candidate. And it's just, the way I look at it, it's a less clean-cut version of House of Cards,
Yeah.
where he just spreads false rumors about this woman. It's not a bad movie. He does a really good job in it. It's really good.
So, just a sidebar here. While you guys were, watching Godzilla, I was, sitting in a freaking crowded arena
Right.
with thousands of freaking people watching my wife graduate.
Hey, congrats to her.
Great times had by all, except by nobody. So you know how they always have the guest speaker or whatever come in?
Right.
Well, we get the Attorney General for Missouri was the guest speaker or whatever.
Lame.
Super lame. About 30, not 30 minutes, it wasn't that long. Over half of his speech is basically just about himself and his political career, which no one gave a shit about. Which I didn't know this. Apparently, he, for the longest time, was a state representative for the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he's now the Attorney General for Missouri as a Democrat. He switched parties after like 12 years of serving in one.
Whatever.
And then he made this little like joke or anecdote, whatever you want to say, about how his mom was like, so shocked that this happened, and she's like one of the most, devout, Fox News watchers. And he kind of chuckles to himself. And all I could think is, good God, you were in the wrong place to be making jokes like this.
Oh, is Southern Missouri making fun of Fox News?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in freaking Springfield, Missouri, at an OTC graduation. There's like 8 people like in my general vicinity wearing like freaking camouflage or freaking.
Mother of God.
I was like, you should just stop talking, give them their diplomas, and let's get the hell out of here.
Good for him. That's all I'm going to say. Because Fox News fucking sucks. But like you're saying, wrong place.
There's
wrong
a
time.
place and a time that was probably not the right one.
Yeah. He's
Anyway.
got some big balls on him. We'll give him that.
all right, back to balls deep.
Okay. Hannibal. The Silence of the Lambs.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's
The
it's
only
bad.
the only
It's
ones
bad.
I've seen is
You liked it?
It was all right.
I saw the original and then I saw Red Dragon.
I like Red Dragon.
I mean, Silence of the Lambs is obviously the best,
Oh yeah.
but I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't. It doesn't appeal to me.
It was Ridley Scott film. Speaking of,
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I liked the Red Dragon movie and I liked the original, but I just thought, to me, this is trying to wring money out of a famous Oscar-winning movie.
he was in some episodes of Friends.
Apparently,
Huh.
I didn't watch Friends because that show blows.
He was in a Beat the Devil movie. He was the devil. Huh. I could see him playing the devil very well.
Did some voice work for video games.
Yeah, Medal
He's
of
done
Honor.
a lot of video game work.
Really?
True
Yeah.
Crime, Streets of L.A.
And then,
Ben-
Medal of
Ben-
Honor.
Yeah.
which I didn't even really freaking. I mean, obviously they have video games, but 1998, he did the voice for the Fifth Element video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
for-
because
I
that
think-
was when every time a super popular movie came out, they made a video game for it.
Then we were going to get to Harry Potter. Is Sirius Black.
He's awesome as Sirius Black. You can't say anything different.
I
Because
actually-
if you do, you're wrong.
No,
I'm
I thought he
kidding.
was great, and I
But
loved him in that
seriously.
movie. When I found out that he was actually cast for it, I didn't really like the choice at the time. Just because, as being like such an avid reader of the book,
Yeah.
like I just had like in my mind like what I envisioned, and it wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
Once I saw him on screen, completely
made
changed my
sense.
mind.
Right.
He was fucking amazing.
That's kind of like me with a certain casting choice that we'll talk about at the end because we forgot to talk about it in news.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've
But
totally
anyway,
forgot about
he's awesome as Sirius Black. I didn't really have a vision of Sirius Black because he wasn't one of my favorites. My favorite was Snape. He's badass, and Alan Rickman was perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
So I didn't mind the casting choice because I know Gary Oldman can do anything.
After Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, we get Batman Begins, where he plays the iconic Jim Gordon very well.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
definitely.
probably going to be like what he's remembered for, at least right now. Like I think this is what like everyone knows him from is Gordon.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody knows everybody from that movie series. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Christian Bale's always going to be Bruce Wayne. Michael Caine is Alfred. I mean, if you see these people, you're like, oh, that guy was in Batman.
Yeah.
Because that movie was so damn good. Why? Because Christopher Nolan made it.
So, Jim Gordon. Like you said, he's going to be known as that guy forever, unless he
Yeah.
comes out with something way better, which it's going to be hard.
Well, it's like,
Because whenever you're in something that big, you could have done better work. Like, he should probably be remembered for his True Romance early on, the Professional, or even Dracula roles, but he's going to be Jim Gordon.
it's like Daniel Radcliffe's always going to be Harry Potter no matter what he does.
No, that guy is Harry Potter for
Yeah.
the
Right,
rest of
he's
his
always
life.
going to be Harry.
He's going to be
Elijah
89
Wood-
years old, and you're like, Harry Potter.
Elijah Wood's always going to be Frodo Baggins. I mean, there's just certain roles that people have. I mean, I know Mark Hamill hasn't done much. That guy's always going to be Luke.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get, after that movie, you get to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire,
Yeah.
which is, before the 7th one, is my favorite of the series.
Favorite book or favorite movie?
Both. Because the book is great, but I take that back. Movie, it's second. Book, it's like third or fourth. Because
Yeah.
I thought the 6th one was awesome, too. But, yeah, what else?
Then he does the Legends of Spyro game. Actually, he does a couple of them.
Yeah.
He does A New Beginning and then Eternal Night.
Huh.
And then again, he was Sirius Black in Harry Potter.
Right. And then you get The Dark Knight, which is
One of the greatest movies of all time.
one of the greatest movies of all time. Everyone loves that movie.
Then he does another video game. Son of a
He
bitch.
did Call of Duty World at War?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that game.
Oh, I do remember him in Sergeant Reznov.
So then he gets to a horror movie, I think, called The Unborn. I haven't seen it.
It's really bad.
Is it?
It's really bad.
Yeah, I don't care to see it. He did a voice in the Christmas Carol animated movie
Bob Cratchit.
with Jim Carrey.
Tiny Tim.
And
Oh, he was Robert Marley, too.
then you
He was
get...
Bob Marley.
I mean, he did some other stuff that year, Rainfall, but I haven't seen it. Then you get to the Book of Eli.
I
and he was
love
great
that
in it.
movie.
I fucking hate that movie.
Are you serious?
That is a horrible movie.
I love the Book of Eli.
There's two nitpicks about that movie that keep me from putting it above a 7. At the time, Mila Kunis was so heavily into Family Guy, and she's always been comedy. You know, the pretty girl that the dude goes after, blah blah blah. At the end, when they tried to make her the badass chick that carries on Denzel Washington's mission, I just couldn't believe that. It was so unbelievable to me that it made me hate that part. Like, it almost ruined the entire movie.
That one thing, even that amazing plot is the barren wasteland of the world.
Oh, no, it's great.
And there's only one Bible left in the entire world, and they know that it can be used for good or it can be used as a weapon to control the minds of everyone.
It's great.
That is one of the coolest plots I've ever heard for a movie.
No, the plot is it's a cool idea. I hated Denzel Washington in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, like I
didn't like the ending.
I thought
The twist I thought was unnecessary.
I thought I liked it.
I liked it at the end from Gary Oldman's side because he's like, well, fuck, man, I can't do anything about that now. I can't read Braille, but to just throw that in there and have him be blind the entire movie,
I love that.
That doesn't work.
Well, but they told
Then
you
he
why.
has to be superhuman because he was shooting motherfuckers from 50 feet away.
That was the point. He was God sent. That's what the movie was about.
Whatever. It's a decent movie. It's just those are two things that keep me from liking it.
Kung Fu Panda.
2.
Hey,
Two.
that's a decent movie.
I've never seen the second one. I have no idea.
We're
The
just
first
going
one.
to skip over Red Riding Hood. And he was in another Call of Duty Black
He
Ops.
was in Red Riding Hood, huh?
Another Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It's very mixed feelings on that movie. It's hard to follow because it is very, very English.
You see
Yeah.
the fucking cast for this movie? Jesus.
Cumberbatch is in it.
Colin Firth, Tom Hardy, Mark
Hardy's in
Strong,
it.
John Hurt, Benedict Cumberbatch.
I mean, the thick accent and vocabulary that they use in that movie makes it very difficult for an American audience to follow.
Yeah,
It's still really cool.
Then he was in Lawless.
I
That's
like
a good
Lawless.
movie.
yeah, that was a good one.
He was only in it for 5 minutes?
If that.
Yeah.
So it's not even really a Gary Oldman movie. It's more like a Tom Hardy,
Tom Hardy's such a badass.
Tom
in
Hardy,
that
Guy
movie,
Pearce movie.
Guy Pearce movie.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce was fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah, he was.
But
Then he
Dark
was
Knight
Dark Knight
Rises.
Rises. What is this? Guns, Girls, and Gambling?
never heard of it.
Oh, it's got Christian Slater in it. It's probably terrible.
You know, we
And
saw that about True
It's
Romance.
got your favorite comedian in it, Dane Cook.
I don't mind Dane Cook.
Oh, I thought you hated Dane Cook.
No, who's the fucking ventriloquist?
Oh, Jeff
Dunham.
yeah.
That's my least favorite comedian.
I thought you
Fuck
hated
that guy.
I thought you hated Dane Cook.
I don't hate Dane Cook. Some of his stuff's funny. It's just I just don't go out looking for it. Anyway, so
I never saw Paranoia, although I wanted to see it when it came out.
yeah,
It's Liam Hemsworth, Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Amber Heard.
now you saw RoboCop.
Yeah, he was awesome in that movie, but the movie overall was just meh.
Meh.
Yeah, not the best.
And those are his finished movies as of now. So now moving on to movies that he has coming out. Of course, the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes movie, which looks incredible. I want to see it really bad.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Oh, you got this movie called Child 44 with Tom Hardy, Noomi Rapace.
Is he playing another
Vincent
Russian?
Castle.
He is.
Set in Stalin-era Soviet Union, a disgraced MGB agent is dispatched to investigate a series of child murders, a case that begins to connect with the very top of party leadership. It just from the looks of it, it looks cool. There's no trailer, but
No, it does look. And it has a great cast.
yeah, it really does.
It's got Joel Kincannon in it too. He's a Swedish actor. He was in The Killing. He was
Yeah.
one of the cops in that.
Yeah, I'm all
really
for it.
good.
So check out this next movie that he has, Flying Horse. Not only is he starring in it, but he wrote it and directed it.
Really.
Well, he's going to. It's a
Holy shit!
biopic of pioneer photographer Edward Muybridge. His courtship between his wife and Harry Lincoln's. So this cast, you get Cumberbatch Amy Seyfield, Gary Oldman, and Ray Fiennes.
Amanda Seyfried,
What did I say?
Amy Seyfeld.
No. I don't know what. I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
I would see it just with those three dudes. Amanda Seyfried's okay. I mean, in the right role, she's all right. But Gary Oldman's directorial debut, I'd watch the shit out of that.
He directed something a long, long time ago, but it didn't come of anything.
Oh,
so
really?
it was-
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think he directed like one thing, but
Okay.
this is going to be him directing and writing it. So
Yeah.
All right, so to end it, what would you say is the scale his good movies to bad, like his career?
8.7.
I would go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say an 8.
Yeah, because man, he hasn't done a whole lot that's bad. The only one I've seen that I didn't really care for is RoboCop, and that wasn't his fault. So Gary Oldman.
If we're basing it on his
Good work.
acting abilities, then he's in the high 9s.
Oh,
But
for
we're-
sure.
But if we're basing it on
All his
the
films,
movies,
It's in the 8s.
yeah,
Yeah,
8.7.
definitely.
So thank you for going balls deep with Gary Oldman.
Balls deep.
Now, please remember that is a working title. If you guys can come up with a better title for that, we are all about it. So we need to talk about who we're going to go balls deep with next week.
Okay.
I want to. Let's do a lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go balls deep on Meryl Streep.
You want to go balls deep on Meryl Streep?
That
Yeah.
sounds disgusting.
Wait, hold on. No. Let's do somebody cooler. Let's go balls deep on I can't think of anybody.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
It's gotta be somebody that has a.
We're going to go balls deep on Julia Roberts.
Nice. All right. So is that going to end the podcast, guys?
Not yet. We still need to talk
About.
Channing Tatum is officially been cast as Gambit.
I'm cool with it.
Man, I'm telling you, when the first time I heard it, I hated the idea because the comic book fanboy in me, Gambit's my favorite superhero. And
Yeah, he's up there. He's in my top 3.
yeah, favorite superhero. And so I have an idea. I liked Taylor Kitsch's Gambit in that Wolverine movie, even though that
Suck
movie
balls.
was a piece of shit. But I'm slowly warming to the idea because I can kind of see him fitting into that role. It might not be terrible.
So, what movie is he gonna be in?
Well, they say he's going to be in
Age of
Age of
Ex-
Apocalypse.
yeah.
The next
The
X-Men
next
movie.
X-Men
Not
movie.
the one that obviously is coming out
Not
next
Future
week,
Fast,
but the one that comes out in 2016, I think.
Yeah.
And then he's going to get his own movie. So
Okay.
I think that'll come out. They said they think it'll come out between that and then the X-Men movie after that.
I feel like at this point, for a lot of actors, like that's got to be what you're going for. Is that iconic
superhero
superhero movie, because it's just gonna be freaking cash cow one.
It
and
sets your career.
It really does.
Because think about it, Robert Downey Jr. was in the shitter until he made Iron Man.
Yeah.
And now he can't do anything wrong.
We're going to have to go balls deep on him later.
Yeah, later. But we do need to do a woman.
So Julia Roberts.
Yeah, I would say Julia Roberts because I can't think of anybody else that I would go balls deep on.
And on that note, we're going to end this podcast.
All right then.
Thank you, everybody, for checking into the podcast this week. This is the See It Podcast. You can find us on iTunes. Thank you for Podomatic for giving out the content. You can also find us on YouTube at /See It Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at C_it_podcast. You can find us on Facebook at /The See It Podcast. Thank you guys for checking in, and we'll catch you next week.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey,
Later
what
session.
what kind of jeans does Mario wear? Denim, denim, denim. Oh, I'm a funny guy.